Good afternoon and welcome to the JACA Renewables and JACA Electrical Contractors podcast. Here today is Craig, one of the company directors, and I'm joined by Jordan, another company director, and we're here just to go through some stuff about why you should be choosing JACA Renewables, JACA Electrical Contractors, and just to give you a slight insight about what we're about in our personal backgrounds and what the business is about, where we've come from, and where we're looking to go.
Yeah, obviously, hi, my name's Jordan. I've been an electrician now for 12 years. Been around with Craig as JACA Electrical Contractors. We first opened up 5 years ago. We've just opened JACA Renewables now. And so, yeah, watch this space and we will be pushing that in the coming months. But yeah, so obviously more about Craig.
So obviously I've been an electrician now for probably about 13 years. Done my training, went with a company, went with a few different companies, to be honest. I met Jordan in 2019. We worked together at a company called Asta. We did numerous jobs together, but then we decided that we're too good to be able to
COVID, wasn't it?
pardon?
COVID.
It was through
Yeah.
COVID, yeah.
Hello.
So obviously the expectation that we had and the quality working ethic that we had was higher than where we were. So obviously we wanted to try and bring that into our own business. So we started doing some private jobs together, really. We've done a bit of rewiring and stuff like that on the weekends, just trying to fill the gap and get everything going. And it just went on leaps and bounds from there, really. So
So I think it was within 2 months of opening the company, you end up leaving Asta.
exactly that, yeah.
And within 3-4 weeks, I end up handing my notice in.
Yeah, yeah.
With us now, we haven't looked back really, have we?
No, exactly that. We've been really spontaneous and stuff in the things that we do. Going out there, making sure that we've got the work in, looking for it in all different areas. And again, yeah, we've got a good client base now. And obviously, yeah, we've got different contracts with different sort of councils and stuff like that. That's where we prioritize a lot of our work. But a lot of the workload that's coming through sort of our line of inquiries now is renewables. Everyone's going for the renewables because it is such a gold mine, really, for everyone, not just the supplier, but the consumer as well. It's a no-brainer as to why not to do it, especially if you've got your own property. So because of that, obviously, we've opened that separate company, JACA Renewables, and yeah, here we are today, trying to reach out to people and get the name out there, get our brand out there, and show people why you should choose JACA.
Yeah, and obviously we want to be, just say, we want to push JACA Renewables and JACA Electrical Contractors to be as a well-known, a big well-known electrical company. And yeah, really kind of go nationwide, really, aren't we?
Exactly that, yeah. So, I mean, just to obviously touch on more on the JACA Electrical Contractors, I mean, the services that we provide there, they're sort of everything electrical. So we do domestic, commercial, industrial. We can come in to just change a socket. We can go in there to rewire a whole house, rewire a factory, add machinery. But at the same time, what makes us different to sort of our competitors is we're sort of bespoke in the sense of we like working closely with the client. They might have an idea and we talk about our previous experiences and stuff like that. And then obviously we combine both parties' knowledge about what we think is the right direction to go in. If they're not too impressed with that, obviously we still go with that. We can just advise accordingly. But yeah, I mean, that's what sets us apart. And that's really what we provide. Like I said, it can be smart lighting, it could be emergency lighting, from testing and inspecting. We really are a one-stop shop. Especially with the renewable side of things now. Obviously, it's just so big going forward. Such a good place to be at the moment, especially with the rising costs of energy, energy prices and stuff like that. It's definitely the way to go. So hence why we've got JACA Renewables now. And with JACA Renewables, we obviously do solar, we do batteries, we do EV chargers, and we're also looking at air source heat pumps and stuff like that. I mean, we are open to do obviously other things like wind turbines, etc. But for now, obviously, the majority of people are just going with solar and EV chargers and stuff like that. So that's where we come in, and yeah, we go through it. So what we do is we turn up to the property. We'll have a little look. We use Google Earth images and drone footages and stuff like that. With all the information, we come together with obviously what you need, what your requirements are, going against your energy costs, etc. And then we put a nice plan together for you to see how long it's going to take you to pay stuff back off, and how much it's going to cost you per month, etc., and stuff like that. So that's really about the both companies, what services we provide on the electrical side of things and the renewable side of things. Unless
Yeah.
there's anything that I've missed that you want to.
Well, like I said, is obviously we just signed a lease on a new office and showroom. So we're literally going to get the keys next week for that, aren't we?
Yep.
So and there is going to be, like I said, a showroom there. We're going to have some dummy units delivered for EV chargers, batteries, panels, smart lighting. So you can come and have a look yourself.
Yeah.
And see it, because a lot of people do say, obviously, the aesthetic side of things they don't like.
Yeah.
But we have chosen some good products.
Yeah.
We've gone with the aesthetics. We've gone with the end, just the overall specifications of it, what they look like, how good they are, what obviously inputs and percentage of efficiency ratings they've changed. We've spent quite a lot of time doing a lot of product research.
Yeah.
And I think you will all be really happy with the products we have.
Yeah.
And what you can add to it.
Yeah, especially the prices as well. I think that's one thing that we've done really well at is obviously not only have we spent a lot of time going through different products on the market, what sells well, what works well, we've gone above and beyond really. I mean, we've gone off the shelves and we've gone to more suppliers in terms of like batteries and things like that. We've been to a lot of conventions and yeah, we've got
A lot of people, haven't we?
yeah, we spoke to a lot of people, and obviously with that, we've gone because where we've gone straight to source, we've been able to get a lot of the stuff a lot cheaper than what you would be able to normally. So we're very competitive as well, in line with some of the sort of day-to-day normal products that you'd see being fitted in houses. Whereas ours are definitely more bespoke, definitely more advanced and future-proofed, but at a very similar price. So
Yeah, that's the one. Like I said, we pride ourselves on a lot. We don't tend to, for example, like a consumer unit change. A lot of them will just put in your mid-range to low range so they gain their money. We constantly use the high range, top range. So we use YLX, for example, as a consumer unit. They are probably one of the most expensive on the market, but because we use them so often and we have our suppliers there and we speak to our suppliers quite often, we're constantly getting that price down. We can offer that high value item for the same cost as a mid-range that other competitors will be able to supply for the same price.
So yeah, definitely looking forward to launching properly. Obviously, this is very early doors for the renewable side of things, but like I said, there's loads of people crying for it out there at the moment. So obviously, it's our job to fill that gap. And obviously, we do stuff like this. We've got a brochure here, which obviously is available, and within this brochure, obviously, you've got all the details in there about what we offer, what we can do, different types of products, etc. in there. We've also got extra stuff which we can have like bird proofing, care packages which we offer and stuff like that. Again, obviously this is obviously going to be part of our showroom as well, like Jordan just touched on. So not only will you be able to either come in and see the products actually physically, you can have a look through this brochure at home before you wanted to pop on in, just give you some sort of idea about what you want, and what your requirements are, and then we can potentially come up with something together about what we think is going to suit you best.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, yeah. The goal, obviously, our main goal is not just to build a company that generates a lot of profit. It's not just about the money for us. It's the company and the people around us. We do have our team around us that we are all good friends. We all get along very well. We don't just pay them their wage and then that's it. They go home. They get bonuses. They get all sorts of stuff from us. We will go out quite often. And our goal is really just to build more of a family around us, and also to pass on our friendships and obviously build a bigger family with our customers. So all of our customers we've dealt with so far are ongoing. We have very good relationships with them, and yeah, we want our reputation is on the top for us, and we want to keep everybody happy, and we want to provide the best quality of work to anybody, regardless of what it is, if it's just a single socket up to a whole solar system. And so, yeah.
Yeah, so especially with the renewable side of things, just touching on that as well, is obviously because the electrical side of things, I mean, that's something that we wanted to do. Obviously, we wanted to be business owners, not just electricians anymore, hence why we did it. And obviously, it's the same with anyone, that's why they do a business. Obviously, it's for the money and stuff like that. But once we've obviously settled in and we've got everything set up and you realise the bigger picture, renewables is more about, well, it says it in our tagline, energizing tomorrow sustainably. And that's what we want to do. We want to obviously bring in the renewable side of things, bring in the um, saving the planet, as it were, because there is it's such a waste. All those roof spaces out there, for an example, and we're still burning coal. We're still doing everything wrong, a lot wrong in this country. So we can help just a small bit in any way. Then obviously that's our goal, and what sort of the challenges that we want to.
Yeah, and look, so it doesn't just help the environment, is it? It helps the customer. Like I said, is putting a solar panel. Everyone thinks that them solar panels are going to cost a fortune. We can't have no finance plan, and you don't know the payback periods, and you don't actually know what you're saving. You'd be very surprised what you can save and what we can do to adjust them sort of things. Really,
Yeah.
you can, like I said, you don't have to have a south-facing roof, for example. You can have a southwest, or however it may be. You can have ground mount, all sorts in roof, obviously on top on your tiles. And yeah, it's for a customer to realize. Everyone thinks, well, it's going to cost me thousands. I can't afford that. You can do that. We have so many different finance options available for that, and in our quotes, in the proposals, you could see the payback periods and what you're going to save each month. A lot of our customers really don't realise, do they, how
No.
quick is the payback period
Yeah.
is, and how much they actually do save on a monthly. 'Cause you're not just you're paying it off in, say, 7 year, or say 7 years of payback period, but they're saying at the same time is every month your electricity bill is now half or even less than that. Sometimes can be near enough next to nothing, depending on what you use.
Yeah.
So you're actually saving that as well. So it actually works out even.
Yeah. It all depends on the roof space as well, depending on how many panels we can fit on that roof to give you the maximum, really, because in an ideal world, we don't want it to affect you. So obviously, the way that we obviously try and what we try and achieve is to get the solar installed, and obviously we offer finance. So finance is a big thing for us, because it is expensive. Obviously, we fully appreciate that not everyone can afford that sort of installation because of the price. It is. So with the finance, obviously that does make a big difference. So what we try and achieve is we try to get the finance to be the same as the energy cost. So say your energy bills was £200 a month, for an example. Obviously you're now going to bring into this finance of £200 a month for the new solar installation with the batteries. So you're not going to be paying for your energy costs anymore. So that £200 gone. You've now got your £200 for your finance. So actually, financially, you're not any different than what you were before you've got the solar installed. But after 5 to 7 years or around those sorts of timescales, you're going to own the solar system. So the finance will stop being paid. Your energy costs are still not going to be charged. So you're actually then going to be saving your £200. And then you own all of the solar, the solar array, the batteries and stuff like that. And not only do you save money there, it's also going to increase the value of your property. So it definitely is. Obviously, we touched on it, but it is definitely a no-brainer. It is definitely something to look at, especially with these new panels, the new batteries, the new technology that's coming out that's far more advanced than it ever was. It lasts a lot longer than it ever did. And you do have the warranties and stuff in place now just to give you that peace of mind, as well as obviously, like I said, we offer care packages so we can come round, we can protect it with bird proofing just to obviously help the long life of the installation. But with the care packages, obviously we can come there, we can test it once a year, we can even clean them just to obviously make sure you're getting they're efficient as they can be. And yeah, so I mean that's some of the stuff that we can offer and use.
Yeah, yeah, exactly that. Like I said, is and also, like I said, I mentioned about a lot of these tariffs come back in now, aren't they? About these, you're getting a good payback into the grid now.
Yeah.
As well as obviously, I would say always recommend getting a battery to store that during for the evenings and that. But paying back into the grid during the day, especially when you're working, you
Yeah.
charge your battery up, the rest of it can go back into the grid, and you're generating income
Yeah.
from whilst you're working as well. So that is an extra bit of income coming in that's even knocking off your electricity bill. And yeah, and all, like I said, if you got an hour, everyone's buying these electric cars now. We are doing a promotion at the moment as well. You get a free EV charger with every solar panel system and a battery. Obviously with a few terms applied, obviously you can, I think it's six or more panels and a 5 kilowatt battery or more, you get a free EV charger. So that's a good saving there. And yeah, it can really change for a lot of people and how it will help them.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And also that's what we're going to go touch on now is we'll just go through sort of frequently asked questions by sort of our client base, some customers and obviously people that we've gone around to quote for. We'll just cover a couple of common questions now so we can make everyone aware to save them from answering the questions themselves, as it were. So the first one that I've got in front of me is what does renewables even mean for my home?
So yeah, a lot of people don't really know what renewables is. You know, your normal, your solar. Obviously, you've got your solar, you've got your battery, you've got ground source, air source heat pumps. EV chargers come into that now as well. And yeah, and obviously there are wind turbines you can have, depending on obviously the size of your property. And we are in the process of doing a quote for a little wind turbine. So we will know a bit more about that going forward. But yeah, so everyone thinks it's a bit hard to try and get, but there are grants in place. You can get, obviously your EPC ratings can be changed because of this with your heat pumps, etc. And they don't, like heat pumps especially, everyone thinks it's going to rip your house apart, and they don't. A lot of it we can do from all outside. So yeah, if you can just get a quote, it's free. If you really think it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't. But yeah, really, obviously the next question I'll ask Craig is how much does it really cost?
Haha. So in terms of this, obviously it's very tricky to sort of give you any figures at all. But roughly, I mean, depending on what roof you've got, where you're facing, what batteries you want, etc. If we just said your standard sort of 5 kilowatt battery, maybe sort of 10 panels fitted, commissioned, sort of tested and up and running for you, you'd be looking around sort of 10 to 12,000 pounds mark, I'd like to imagine. Obviously there are many variables there. But yeah, on average, ballpark figure, that's what I'd say. There are, as I mentioned, obviously depending on the roof stuff, structure, what's on the roof actually itself, whether it's tiles or slate or something like that. There will be obviously a few variables in there, but we're very transparent when we quote. We go through, or potentially this is going to be, this could be an issue, this could be an issue, or how we're going to overcome certain problems that may be there, like trees or what have you. And yeah, so that's your sort of ballpark figures in terms of pricing. I mean, obviously, depending on the size of the array, the solar system, that will again be dependent on the bird proofing, care packages, and things like that. But for a 10 panel, 5 kilowatt, yeah, I'd say the ballpark average figure, everything was smooth. You'd be looking at 10 to 12,000 pounds. With that, doing that on the finance, you'd be looking at probably about 6 to 7 years to pay it back. But that's obviously again very dependent on how much energy you're using at the moment. So if you're using an awful lot, then potentially it might be a bit longer to sort of claw back, pay back. But if you're using less, then obviously great, even better. Really, you'll be paying that off quicker, and you'll own it quicker. You'll be saving money, making money even quicker.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving on then. So we have, what kind of savings should I expect?
Well, we'll start from obviously from yours, like you said around about 12,000. We'll just say obviously at the moment any renewables or anything to do with renewables is tax free, zero rated at the moment. So
Good one.
they may or may not change that, and we'll see what the government come up with next. But yeah, on average, I think the ones we are doing, especially lately, we've had a couple of customers have had quite a high electricity bill, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
A good amount, like £300-400 a month. So the last one we did, I think it was originally £400 a month. We've got theirs down to they're paying about £140 a month now, aren't they? And then they're only paying, I think it's about £200 on the finance. So actually, are saving slightly bit, not much, but they're saving a little bit of money actually monthly. And their payback period was 8 years.
Yeah.
And theirs is not all south-facing roof either. So that's a good one. And then battery storage. Adding the battery into that equation on your solar panels. They're not a huge amount of money. They're between 2,000 and 4,000, depending on what you're looking at. And like I said, and that's in that with that 12,000, like you said.
Yep.
But that just that changes things for solar panels. When they got bought out, like I said, a lot of people work 9 to 5, so you're not really using your electricity during the day. So why don't you just get yourself a 10 kilowatt battery, fill it up during the day, and then everyone comes home at night, the lights turn on, your kettle goes on, you're cooking now, and then all of a sudden now you're using all your storage of energy that you've done during the day. And then obviously, at the same time as when you are away during the day, and you fill that battery up, just sell it back to the grid now. These new tariffs coming in are really, they are really good now.
Yeah.
Pushing
So
forward.
not only are you saving money, you could potentially be making money, especially with, like Jordan touched on a few times now, is these new tariffs.
Especially for commercial buildings.
Yeah.
Now a lot of people are getting these tariffs are brilliant. You're getting a good payback on these now. So if you're a commercial building as well, you don't feel like you can't do it. They are actually really beneficial, and they really will help your business as well.
Yeah, so the payback period then really, so to answer to the, obviously to touch on, to add to your question, is you eat immediately. You start saving almost immediately. As soon as the panels are on your roof,
Yeah.
you should start noticing savings. We should be able to predict this anyway by all of the sort of information that we've got, the spec from the panels, the batteries, what your usage is. We should be able to sort of give you some sort of predictions anyway about when we should be start saving, how much you should be saving, and in time periods and time frames, etc. So yeah, again, that's how quickly you should start to notice the savings.
So the payback period, like I said, is to put it on a brief way, it'd be between 5 and 10 years. We can probably almost definitely get it in that range, can't we? Depending on the sizing,
Yeah.
and depending on what you go for. Obviously, the higher quality it's slightly more expensive, but then the lower quality. When we say lower quality, that is still for us. We have no low quality. There is a mid to high range, and then we have high range. Then there's no low quality.
No, definitely not.
And the prices are really good. They're very, very competitive.
Yeah, they are very.
Let's start talking about our surveys then, Craig.
Yeah, so
Step by step. Let's
go through it.
come on then.
So obviously, as soon as you inquire with us, obviously someone from the team, we aim to get back to you within 24 hours. Whether you get hold of us on our Facebook page, TikTok, email, you name it, we should be able to respond within 24 hours. From that, we'll arrange an appointment with you to sort of come out to the property, obviously meet you, have a look around the property. When we turn up on the day, obviously we sort of go through why you're getting in touch with us. We look at the roof, look at the insides of the roof to sort of see what we've got inside. We look at the current electrical installation. And then what we tend to do is we try and sit you down somewhere, sit down together and go through the requirements. So that with that, we whoever comes out to you, whichever salesperson comes out to you, whichever sales rep comes out to you, we'll go through on the iPad. We'll look at the property from Google Earth. We'll get a nice picture of the roof and how many sort of panels we can fit on there. What would be the most panels we fit on there? Then we come up with a sort of a solution. So we decide what panels we're going to opt for with what we can fit on the roof. We'll then talk about your energy usage at the moment to see, we'll work out what power you're going to get from those solar panels going onto your roof to see whether that's enough or whether it's not enough, etc., and what we can do to adapt that and overcome that. And then we look at things like batteries, obviously depending on how often you're at home or not at home, etc., will be detrimental to what battery we decide, whether it's 5 kilowatt, 10 kilowatts, 15 kilowatts. Obviously, the idea is to really get as much energy into those batteries as we can. And then obviously feeding on from that, obviously then we can either talk about air source heat pumps if that's something that you're interested in too. EV chargers is another good one. Like Jordan touched on earlier, there's a big boom for electric cars at the moment and we can see why. So obviously why not incorporate that into the free electric that we're going to get from the solar installation on the roof. So then from all that, we'll do a little report. In that report, we'll tell you sort of, it'll have a breakdown of your house, what we've talked about. So it'll give you your current energy usage, your predicted energy usages. You'll have some pictures of the roof of the house, where we're going to fit the panels, how they're all going to look. We'll also go through some pictures of the batteries and the panels, so you can actually see them picture version, photo quality, so you can see what they're like. And then we obviously go through some pricing together, whether you want any extras, like the care packages we offer. We then potentially have a look at finance options if you want to go down the finance route. And then we come up with hopefully a decision From that decision, we will then have a look at you getting you booked in. If you still have any questions, you can obviously pop on down to our showroom where we've got display models coming in all the time of actual panels, batteries, inverters, EV chargers. So you can come in and actually see them for yourselves in case the photographs in the brochure aren't enough for you. And then, yeah, we get you booked in. Once you sort of got given a date, we tell you when sort of the scaffold is going to be there, when the engineers are going to be there, and for how long. That's another important one because obviously no one likes scaffolding around their house. So we'll talk to you about how long we expect them to be there, and then install the panels, get everything going, get everything commissioned, get everything tested, get everything up and running, and then obviously once we got everything commissioned and tested, then we hand over to you guys. And during that handover, we go through everything with you, everything that you need to know from emergency switching to the apps on your phones, how they're compatible with other apps, how we can incorporate them into other things. And yeah, that's really our
Yeah, no, so that's the main one. Yeah. That's the broad picture of it. I'm going to just talk about a bit more about maybe obviously actually the survey in the house survey. So for us, obviously exterior, obviously survey. We do send our drone up, don't we? We get some nice, lovely photos. And we always let the customer have a go because they love it, don't they? Especially the men. Men love that. But yeah, so then we obviously get all the satellite imaging from that, as well as obviously Google Maps. In the loft roof space, looking at obviously if there is going to be any batteries or inverters in the loft, there's room, as well as obviously the structure.
Yep.
An electrical installation especially, so we tend to, if we can, incorporate into the existing board, or sometimes we have to include a secondary board. But we'll also add that we also do, in part of our package, don't we? We do an electrical installation condition report.
Yeah. We do obviously.
Any ICR, okay.
What we do is we test all of the electrics in the house. So we test all the electrical cabling. We call it a full fixed wire test. And from that full fixed wire test, what we do is we produce a report, like Jordan said, an electrical installation condition report in the ICR.
Yes, the ICR, that's the one I'm going
Actually, yes. So we can talk to you about your current installation, if it needs any sort of work doing to it, if it's good. But that is a sort of a legally binding document, which can go par and par with your house.
It helps, especially, like I said, is a lot of these, when you're selling the houses nowadays, the solicitors ask for the electrical condition report.
Yeah, usually we give 5 years on the certificate if it's all good.
Yeah.
That's usually about the sort of time frame. So you've got a 5-year certificate for free with the installation. That's something that we do offer. Yes.
Yeah. So that's a good one because that covers it for 5 years. And that normally costs anywhere between 125 and 250, isn't it? So
yeah, 120.
So that's also something we do offer in the package. And obviously, yeah, if you do buy the solar panels and batteries with us, there is a discount on the care package as well. But yeah.
So just to touch on some frequently asked questions, we'll just go through some here that we've got from some of our customers and people online and stuff. So one of the questions that I've got up in front of me here is, what happens at night or on a cloudy day, Jordan?
What happens at night on a cloudy day? So at night, obviously, if there is no sun at all, so it's not going to be generating nothing. So that's why when we use the formula to work out how much you're going to be generating per year, we do that over the sun times of the day.
Yep.
Because certain times of the day it's going to be generating more than other parts of the day.
Yeah.
Especially at night, there's nothing at all.
Yeah.
Cloudy days, it's going to be not as efficient, but also at the same time with solar panels, you don't want it too hot because they'll be less efficient as well. So there is a exact temperature is a good, it's better for you. Yeah, better for the panels. So yeah,
there's obviously not a lot of people. It's a bit of a
tricky one to answer. Yeah, to ask, because they say they say England's not very cloudy, isn't it? But England is one of the best countries for solar panels.
There's a bit of a misconception,
isn't it? Yeah. So because of the sun, you don't necessarily need the sun; it's more the daylight as well.
Yeah.
So yeah. Another question for you then, Craig. Do I need a battery?
Need. is a strong word. I'd strongly advise you to get a battery should you have a solar installation, yes. There's very few, if any, examples when I could sort of suggest you wouldn't need one. If you're home all day, or potentially if you work nights, for example, and you're home all day, even then, I would still get a battery because, like we just touched on, actually, with the night and the cloudy day, say you were to work nights and come home during the day. Obviously, if you come home at 6 o'clock in the morning, the sun's only, it's not even out yet. It's maybe just there. Obviously, you're not going to be able to use that solar energy yet because it's not there. So having that battery still in place then is so yeah, the answer to the question really is yes, I'd say you do really need a battery. It'd be silly not to, especially just because
Yeah,
yeah.
so I totally agree with you on that one. Yeah, I would always recommend a battery, and the price of the new, like I said, there's not a huge amount of price
No.
for a battery to input on there. And you don't want to lose anything, any electric you gain, any energy you gain, you want to try and store it or sell it back, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't want to sell it all back and then realize you've got to buy it back off them because you never get the same amount of money back when you're never going to get the price back from what you send it to them. They're going to gain some money off you. So
Yeah.
still costs more to buy the energy from them than sending it back to them.
But I mean, obviously, in terms of the batteries, obviously, we understand that these batteries are not cheap in the grand scheme of things. Two to £4,000, potentially even £6,000. What we can do is obviously there, even with the finance, if it is a bit too expensive at the start, say we get you 10, 12 panels on the roof to start with. And unfortunately, the finances may not be there, or it just might not be the right time. What we can do is we can still do the installation, and then we can potentially add a battery later on down the line. And with that, we actually do that with a lot of our clients. Is sort of they get the solar installation, we add a battery, say a 5 kilowatt battery, and then sometimes that's just not enough. We can do as many calculations as we want. Unfortunately, we don't always get it right. So yeah, working out it's a bit of trial and error once you've got them installed. So once they're installed, you work out what your usage is. If that 5 kilowatts not enough, it's really, really easy just to add another battery on top, especially with most of the ones that we've got.
So yeah, I was going to say the ones we use literally
Yeah,
on,
you literally
there's no labour involved, is there?
exactly
So
that.
it's
Yeah,
just the cost of the battery then, isn't it?
just the cost of the
Right,
battery,
yeah.
and they just literally most of them just stack on top of each other, so we can come back, stack another battery on, and away you go. Literally an hour, 2 hours work. So yeah, again, finishing off that question there, you don't need a battery, but I would strongly always recommend you to have one. So next question here, we've got how long do solar panels? How long do solar panels last?
Wow, that's a question. They don't 100% know. They're at least 25 years, isn't it? But
Yeah,
a lot of our panels, a lot of our installation and work is at least guaranteed for 10 years, if not more. They do last quite a long time. The inverters and the batteries now they last a long, very long time.
yeah,
Panels, they're not actually the panels aren't the expensive part. There's more the inverters and stuff like that involved.
yeah. The panel.
Panels and going forward, a lot of our customers from 5 years ago to now are upgrading their panels because there's better quality panels out there now, the better efficiency wise. So yeah, question to that, obviously, how long they last? At least 25 years, if not longer
Uh,
than that.
yeah, just to touch on that as well. I think it's the same with anything. It lasts as long as you look after it. I mean, that's one of the
Care package for.
that's one of the reasons why we offer a care package. And a lot of the solar panel brands, they actually say that in order for you to have your warranty, you have to clean the panels. So you have to look after them. You have to make sure they're serviced. So that's obviously comes involved in part with our care package. So I mean, a solar panel can last 10 years, it can last 30 years. Obviously, the more the better you look after it, the longer it's going to last. And yeah, obviously that also helps with the warranty. So say what you've got a 20-year warranty and you've looked after it and it dies or doesn't work, stops working after 15 years, then obviously you are covered by the warranty. And obviously give us a call, give one of the team a call, and we'd be happy to come and change that for you and cover it in the warranty.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Next question.
Next question. Well, talking about that then, maintenance. How much maintenance do solar panels need?
How much maintenance do solar panels need? I don't think a lot of maintenance really. I think obviously quarterly, just having a sort of a check. I mean, with the apps and things now, it would sort of tell you if there's any sort of efficiency issues, if there's any, how long you've had it installed, when's the next service due, and stuff like that. So I don't think it needs a massive amount of maintenance. In terms of like the checks on them, the actual visual checks and the testing and the servicing, I'd say that was annually. But obviously just check up there as often as you can. But realistically, the maintenance is minimal on them.
Yeah, it's focused a lot off from our care package. It's an annually check and clean. So you obviously clean of it every year. We recommend checking off the bird cage, the bird blockers at the side,
Exactly.
and then a test on the system to make sure that obviously the cables are still intact and okay.
Yeah.
And that's really the main part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, we don't really hear anything back from the solar. It's very few and far between. Like I said, the technology's there now. The quality is there now, especially the products that we choose. And yeah, rarely get any problems with it. The odd occasion that we do ask people. We have talked about this, me and Jordan. We are looking at potentially bringing in sort of not just a care plan, but a care package, as it were. So if anything was to go wrong, obviously you pay a monthly subscription. And we'd get, obviously there'd be different stages to that. So you've got bronze, silver, gold, or platinum. And then if there was something wrong with it, with 24-hour call out, that's all free. But again, this is very early doors in that sense. So I'll keep the cards close to the chest, but just watch this space there. It is definitely something that we're looking to do in the pipeline, and yeah, looking forward to do it. So yeah, that's that question. Let's move on to the next one. So Jordan, will solar panels power my entire home?
That is a good question.
Thank you.
That depends on the size of your home. Depends how many obviously solar panels you want, batteries. But the answer is yes, it can. It can power your whole home, and obviously, and you can be off grid if you want to go that far.
Yep.
Um,
Agree with that.
so yeah, there is a lot of people that are not paying no energy at all, electricity bills at all. So yeah, it's something that you'd have to do some calculations with, work out exactly how much you are using, especially if you've got a space as well. So a lot of these like homesteaders, the people who've got lands, they can live off grid.
Yep.
Because they've got the room to be able to have these in-ground ground mount systems that can generate and to store these batteries.
Yep.
And obviously these big houses as well. Because so with solar panels, you can have solar panels that they can generate that can power your air source heat pump, that can power your electric vehicle charger, and then obviously you've got batteries in there to be able to use what you're using on a day. So yeah, it can. You do have to be your lifestyle's got to change a little bit. You can't just come home and go, well, I'm going to put the kettle on and the toaster on and the microwave on all at the same time. Because the drawing of that will so that you'd end up having to pay a bit of electricity, but it will if you change that how the way your lifestyle is, you can come home and turn your kettle on, and that will be free.
Yeah, that's that adaptation, isn't it?
It's the adaptation. It's not like a lot of people don't think they come home from work and your wife can go upstairs and have a shower. You put the kettle on, you chuck the oven on, and then your kids putting some toast in the toast, put some bread in the toaster to toast it.
Yeah.
And is that
Adaptation. It's about living smarter,
living smarter, and especially obviously, like I said, another thing is bringing in this smart home lighting as well.
Yeah.
With the LEDs and stuff like that. All the power is minimal nowadays. It's I said you had the old 60-watt hydrogen lights now to a 3-watt.
Yeah, exactly.
LED light.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
all coming together, isn't it?
It's all coming together, and it's just becoming easier and easier to become self-efficient.
Yeah, I agree.
Moving forward. So yeah.
So yeah, the answer is yes. I suppose it can power your entire home.
Yes. Yeah. Question for you then, Craig. Will solar increase my property value?
I believe so. Yeah. So the answer to that question is yeah. I'd say so. It'd be a very unlikely circumstance where solar wouldn't increase the property value. So that's obviously not just from the fact of the new house buyer, the new occupier will be able to not pay energy bills or pay very minimal energy bills. But the actual cost of the solar installation, obviously, as we talked, of £10,000 to £15,000 roughly for an average solar installation. Obviously, that's on the roof. That's being sold with the house. So yeah, of course, it's going to add value to the property. And yeah, it's it's a lot easier to do than it used to be, and obviously the way that we work, we try and get in and out of there, not as quickly. Well, it is as quickly as possible. We still do the job right, but obviously we try to get a good team around us, so we know where we are. We orchestrate it well. So we've got a team going in to get the scaffolding up, and then we've got the solar panels being installed, and then we've got the electricians coming in to do all the electrical work. So yeah,
It comes out of like our planning. Our planning is on point, isn't it?
yeah,
But also we use our system. So yeah, all of our CRM system, isn't it? So we everything is logged on there.
yeah,
Everybody knows what they're doing, where they got to be, what materials they need, when the materials are going to arrive. Or everything is put together
exactly.
and
So
planned to perfection, really. So it's done in the best quality, the quickest as well in the time. Don't want to spread out. You want scaffolding up 2-3 weeks before, and then
which obviously comes back to the property value as well then, because a lot of people, it's a big operation. Obviously we orchestrate it really well. We get in and out of there really well, as fast as we can, but obviously to the best of our ability as well. But a lot of people don't actually like to do that process because obviously, like Jordan said, it's got the scaffolding up, you've got this, you got that, you got that. So a lot of people shy away from it for that reason. So obviously, if you're buying a new property and you've got solar already installed, it's sort of a win-win situation, isn't it? So yeah, the answer to that question, will solar increase my property value? Yes, I believe it would. It'd be the very, very minimal circumstances where it wouldn't. So moving on to the next question now we have got, is my home a good candidate for solar?
well, that's obviously what we're here for, really. I would say near enough most homes would be, unless I don't know your house is in the middle of a forest. I suppose it would be
No, or in a cave.
or in a cave, yeah, or in a cave, yes, or in the bottom of a mountain.
Mm. Yeah, very few exceptions.
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't have to be. Everyone seems to think it's got to be south facing. Yes, it's ideal with south facing because you get them sun most majority of the time, but you can have your house doesn't have to face that way.
No.
Um, and yeah, and like I said, you could have a pitch roof, a flat roof, no roof if you want to. Like I said, there's a bit of land on the side. You can put it on the side of your house. You can put it on your garage roof, put it on your floor in your back garden.
Well, we had a customer just down the road from our office, didn't we? He had all four sides of his house.
All four sides, yeah, and that, yeah, he worked out that it actually was more. We worked out as more efficient and not more efficient, more cost effective, I should say,
Yeah.
to put them on all four, and it generated enough on there that it worked out to be more beneficial to have them on those sides and not.
Yeah, definitely.
That was one though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that, and we've got, like I said, another one down the road as well in the town next to us. He's just got a static caravan, hasn't he? But it's on land,
Yeah.
so ground mount system,
Yep.
and wind turbines going on that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, and he's got no electricity there, so that's going to be self-efficient.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, the answer to the question, and as I guess the majority of homes, if
Yeah,
not all of them,
exactly.
are good candidates for solar. There are going to be exceptions, as Jordan just touched on.
That's all I'm here for.
Certain areas and that, yeah. But again, we're a friendly team. We're a friendly team, very experienced. Got all the information that you're going to need, so we can talk you through that. We've got websites, showroom brochures, and yeah, anyone at the end of the phone who will be more than happy to help. Any questions, just give us a shout, and we can talk you through it and see if your home is a good candidate for solar.
Thank you ever so much for watching. Please look on our social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok.
Like, share, and follow. Like, share, and follow.
Like, share, and follow. Yeah, and obviously have a look at our websites as well. Yeah, and yeah,
Yeah, really, thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Obviously, like Jordan said, please do look onto our social media channels. Obviously, YouTube, we've got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. But obviously the electrical contractor side of things, we're up and running. The Renewables is a new brand. So anything you can do to help us, whether that's like our page, follow, share, anything like that, would be greatly appreciated. Any questions that you've got,
questions. Yeah,
please feel free to ask us. We'll obviously get back to you as quickly as we can. Like I said earlier in the podcast, we usually aim to do that within 24 hours. And
Or any questions on this, really. As I said, we'll be filming the next one, so yeah, Q&A for next session.
yeah, that's a good
Get
one,
them sent in for us, and then we'll answer them for you.
Yeah, definitely. So set this time next month, we'll be doing another one. So any questions that you want to want answered, perhaps in the meantime, do let us know. We're happy to answer them.
And we'll potentially be bringing a special guest on.
Just about to say that. Sensibly going to have a special guest next month.
So you
Nothing,
find out. Nothing special. Yeah.
nothing's in writing at the moment, but so we're going to keep our cards close to our chest. But we definitely have got some exciting things lined up for the future going forward. So watch this space. So obviously that's all from me, Craig, director,
And Jordan, yeah.
Direct.
Thanks you so much for listening. And yeah, like I said, like, share, and follow. And yeah, tell everyone about it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.